Good morning, students. Today, we are in continuation with the last chapter. We are going to deal with the first chapter of your supplementary reader vistas, the third level, written by Jack Finney. So, hope you have read the chapter, the PDF file which I have sent to you, and you remember the first part of the story. So, what we discussed in the last last audio lesson was the author of the third level, Jack Finney, is an American writer, and the third level is his short story collection, and the story that you are learning is also taken from that collection. And he normally deals with the topics or themes of science fiction, time travel stories, history, and city life in most of his writings. Here in the chapter, we learned about the protagonist, Charlie, and his wife, Lucia. And Charlie is a 31-year-old resident of New York City, and he talks about the third level of New York Central Railway Station. Normally, there are two levels on New York Central Railway Station, but this man believes in the existence of hypothetical third level that he happened to find out. And his psychiatrist, Dr. Sam, mentioned it as just a daydreaming or his escape from the reality. So, and we stopped the story where the Charlie was going to narrate or describe or whether he reached the third level through the after running past the corridor after the second level, which is for the suburban trains. He passed it. He was late that night and he was rushing to his home from his office, and he wanted to reach to his wife Lucia. And suddenly, what happened is he find a corridor from the second level, and he happened to reach the third level where he could find gas lights, open flame gas lights, which refer to a early period. So with that is the point where we stopped, whether where he happened to find out a third level. Just move on to the next portion where what happened in the third level. Hope you have done or imagined and write the assignment also, that what the remaining of the story, what happened in the third level. Okay, let's go. The third level, after the gas lights, he happened to see the brass spittoons on the floor, and man was pulling gold watch from his vest pocket. It was entirely like that of old age, like early periods. The antiquated small room with fewer ticket counters and train gates were there. There was a wooden information booth that is quite different from that of the present age, and flickering open flame gas lights, brass spittoons. All these things remind him of the architecture of 1800s. That is the 19th century. He also finds that the people are dressed in outmoded outfits, entirely different outfits that is from the present age. He notices that the date of the newspaper, there was a newspaper counter where the World newspaper was there. The name of the newspaper was the World, and he came to know from the libraries that it was last published in June 11th, 1894. So, uh, he was surprised to see the newspaper also, because it stopped published in the 19th century, the beginning of the end of 19th century itself. But he pondered there, and he moved forward to the third level at the ticket counter, and he wanted to buy tickets to Galesburg, Illinois. That is the place he ever want to go. And he went there to take two tickets to Galesburg, Illinois for his wife Lucy also. For him, it was a place which had a wonderful town. Galesburg, it is a wonderful town, but with old frame houses, huge lawns, and tremendous trees. For him, it is a place with long and pleasant summer evenings where people have time for each other. He found this Galesburg place as a peaceful place, entirely different from that of the present place, Crescent City he was living, and he want to go back to there with First World War and Second World War so much years to happen, and he wanted two tickets to that place, that is Girlsburg at Illinois. But when he went to the counter, the clerk had the counter tell him the money was entirely different. It was the name, not the same currency that was in the 18th century, as you know, 19th century, that you know, he is reached to an entirely different place and entirely different time. So that the present currency what he have is not the currency that is needed to buy the tickets. You know, I think you might have known the early currencies were very large. It was not so small and handy like this. It was large and it was big as well. So what he does, he couldn't take the count tickets, and he moved. He went to the same counter. He went to the same corridor maybe. But next day he had this in his mind, and during the lunchtime he went to a currency exchange center, and he exchanges $300 for old style bills amounting some 200 monies, and he wanted to go to the counter and take the tickets. He tried to went to the third level, but never could he found the corridor again in the second level, which led him to the third level. He was very disappointed, and he went to his wife also. He shared these things, and all they were also disappointed. Not they were actually, his wife was worried that he isn't going to know. Then she warned him not to go there again. And what he does, he went to his collection of stamp, and he it is collecting that it was settled that the stamp collection is also a way of escape of for whom, the Charlie. So he went to his stamp collection, and suddenly he stopped at one letter to see the first day cover. Actually, first day cover is a letter which the stamp collectors who are so eager in philately, the collection of stamps, the first day cover is the letter which they themselves buy and post for themselves normally, in which they could get the new stamp with a postmark uh, which will which will be there, which will be a proof for the publishing date of the stamp. So Charlie inherited his grandfather's collection of first day covers also, and he went through the stamp collection. He came across a letter that was not there earlier, but it bears a postmark on a faded 6-cent stamp with the picture of President Garfield. Actually, the envelope was sent on July 18, 1894 to Charlie's grandfather in Galesburg and was addressed to Charlie. When he opened the letter, he could find out that it was addressed to Charlie in the address of grandfather. The address outside the post cover was of his grandfather at Galesburg, and inside the letter was addressed to Charlie. It says like this: I go to wishing that you were right. Then I go to believing you were right. And Charlie, it's true. I found the third level. I have been here 2 weeks, and right now down the street at Dally's, someone is playing a piano, and they are all out on the front of porch singing Seeing Nellie Home. And I am invited over our lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Lucia. Keep looking till you find the third level. It's worth it, believe me. And the note is signed Sam. So suddenly, while he going through the letters, while he doing the first cover letters during his stamp in when the his stamp collection, he came to read a letter from Galesburg, which was addressed to his grandfather, and it was written by Sam, inviting them to go to the Galesburg, the place, the third level, which Charlie happened to believe exists. They were wondered. It was a letter from the same Sam Weiner, his Charlie's psychiatrist. So they were wondered. Actually, Sam was on further referring. They came to know that Sam Weiner is nowhere found, and he had managed to get when he inquired about him, he managed to find out that Sam bought $800 worth old style currency from the stamp and coin store where Charlie has visited earlier, and he might believed that he might have settled in where Galesburg. So this is the story where the person Charlie, who happened to find a third level that never existed in the New York Central Railway Station, and finally, whomever the psychiatrist who was saying that it was only his daydream happened, he got a letter from the same psychiatrist which shows the third level, which shows the affirmation, which gives an affirmation that the third level really exists from his grandfather's first day covers. So this was the story. I think you have to go through it. Let's see what it tells about you. Actually, the story tells about a imaginary or hypothetical place of a third level where you Charlie or is taken to yet another place, which is a way to his peaceful place, imaginary land. Actually, in the story, we are not told so much about Charlie, but through his narrations, we are able to get a small idea of him that he is not satisfied with the present condition. He wants a peaceful life. He want to escape. So this third level is shown as a medium of escape for Charlie from the modern world of full of insecurity, fear, war, and worries. And he is went to the third level where the year is around 1890s, and the place is, and he want to go to the place called Geisberg where his grandfather lived. uh, Maybe from the information given from his grandfather he was influenced of the place, and the letter gives an affirmation about the place also. And it is so funny that it was written by Sam, his psychiatrist itself himself, who has termed these things as a just as a daydreaming. We can see the letter in two ways. Either it is true that he has wrote a letter and there is a true level, there is a third level there exists, or it is another hallucination of Charlie that he had found this letter among his grandfather's first day covers, collection of first day covers, and it was addressed to grandfather, and it was the letter not was written to Charlie. So we can identify, or we can tell that Charlie was not happy in the modern Grand Central Station, and he want to escape from the place to a peaceful place which is there in his mind, that is the Galesburg, with his wife Lucia. So he couldn't locate the third level again, right? Maybe Sam has, as the letter says, maybe Sam has reached Galesburg in 1984, but either it may be the hallucination or dreams of escapism of whom? Of Charlie himself. What do you think about it? There are evidences for two things that you can argue that either it is a hallucination or it is a, so the story the actually is mingled, or the story actually ponders about the worlds of reality and fantasy. Actually, it blends to the world of reality and fantasy. You have seen many fantasy movies, right? So it makes believe that these are true. We never expect, or we never want to believe that they are not reality, they are just fantasy. So this is also a story which blends together, or which is intermingled with the world of reality and world of fantasy, which tend us which one to believe, which made us a confusion that which one we have to believe. So go through the stories and send me any queries you have. Here are the questions for you. What do you infer from Sam's letter to Charlie, and do you see an intersection of time and space in this story? Apparent illogicality sometimes turns out to be a futuristic projections. Discuss about it. What do you think of the human tendency to constantly moving between the past, the present, and the future? Yes, human beings have this characteristic of not staying in the present only. Normally our memories, our thoughts wander around the past, the present, and the future. What do you know about it? Think about it and write it in your notebook. Here is the assignment for you. So you have read Adventure by Jayan Nalikar in last year in class 11. So it is also a interviewing of fantasy and reality, right? It also tells about the reality and fantasy. So what you think about these two stories, that is the Adventure by Jayan Nalikar and the Third Level by Jack Finney? Is there anything common in the story, or is there anything different in the story? How these two authors are presenting the story, the reality, the interviewing of the reality and fantasy to you? Think about it and write about it. Send me the queries in the personal account. Okay, thank you.